Hello everyone, and welcome to English Grammar with Max. Today we are going to talk about present simple and present continuous. Let's start with how a present simple sentence is made. A positive present simple sentence is subject plus main verb in present form. For example, I live in Melbourne. I is your subject and live is the present form of the verb live. Point. For he, she, and it, we add an S at the end. At the end of the verb, it means she likes coffee. Another point. If the verb ends in O, S, CH, SH, and X. For he, she, and it, we add ES at the end of the verb. Example: he goes to school. She misses him, or it relaxes me, or he watches TV every day. Now, look here. Go ends in O. So instead of only an S, for the third person singular, we add OS. Miss ends with S, so ES. Relaxes ends in X, so ES, and watches, ES. Like she washes her car every weekend. Let's see how a negative sentence is written in present simple. Subject plus don't or doesn't plus main verb in base form. Does we use for he, she, and it again. Example: they don't work here. She doesn't agree with me. They is your subject. Don't is your auxiliary verb. And work is your main verb in base form. She is your subject. Does, auxiliary verb, and agree, again, the main verb in base form. Now pay attention here. This is she. In negative sentences, in present simple, we don't add an S at the end of the verb for he, she, and it. Instead of that, we use doesn't instead of don't. Now, let's see how a question is made in present simple tense. Let's start with yes or no question. We have do or does plus subject and plus main verb, again in base form. Again, does we use for he, she, and it only. Example: do you live here? Or does she like studying? Do is your auxiliary verb, you your subject, and live is your main verb in base form. Does is your auxiliary verb, she your subject, and like is the main verb in base form. Now, how do we write a question, a WH question, in present simple? We start with a WH word plus do or does plus subject plus main verb, again in base form. Example: what do you do? Or where does she go? What is your WH word? Do your auxiliary verb, you is your subject, and this do is your main verb. So this do is your auxiliary verb, and this do is your main verb. Where is your WH word? Does the auxiliary verb for he, she, and it only. She is your subject, and go the main verb in the base form. Now, we talked about how a present simple sentence is written. Now, what is the meaning of present simple? Why do we use present simple? Present simple has two main functions. Function number one, to state a fact. Example: she lives in Melbourne and has a car. Again, she is your subject, lives the main verb, has, again, we are using the same subject here. She lives in Melbourne and has a car. We have two sentences in here, both in present simple, and both are describing a fact. Function number two, to describe something that happens regularly. Regularly, it means like every day, every hour, every other day, every week, twice in a month, once in a century. Whatever that happens on a regular basis, or regularly or frequently. Example: They work, or they work out every day. We watch a film every weekend. So as you can see, the main two functions of present simple is one, to state a fact, something which is always true, and two, to describe something that happens on a regular basis. Now, let's talk about present continuous. Again, let's begin with the structure of present continuous and how a present continuous sentence is made. Let's start with positive sentences again. Positive sentences are made by subject plus am, is, or are plus verb plus ing. And for I, we use am. For he, she, and it, we use is. And for the others, you, we, and they, we use are. Example. He is playing football. I am talking. Subject is in here, am, is, are all your auxiliary verbs in present continuous tense. Playing is your main verb plus ing. Let me correct this one. This is main verb. Again, in this example, I is your subject, am is your auxiliary verb, and talking is your main verb in ing form. Now, look, we can use contraction in present continuous. What does that mean? It means instead of he is, we can write he's. Instead of I am, we can write I'm. And we call this contraction. Now let's see how a negative sentence is written in present continuous tense. For a negative sentence, we have subject plus am, is, or are plus not plus main verb plus ing. Example. She is not driving, or they aren't watching TV. So, in here, we used she and is to make a contraction. We have she plus is, and we write she's. And we can also put the auxiliary verb with not and make another contraction. Like instead of she's not driving, we could say she isn't driving. Or we could write they aren't watching TV, or they're not watching TV. Now, how do we write a yes or no question? We have am, is, or are as your auxiliary verbs plus subject plus main verb plus ing, and naturally a question mark. Are you listening? Is he coming to the party? Are in here is your auxiliary verb, you subject, and listening main verb in ing form. Is your auxiliary verb, he the subject, and coming is the main verb in ing form. Now, let's see how a WH question is made in present continuous. A WH question. We have WH word plus am, is, or are, plus subject, plus main verb, plus ing. Example. What are you doing? Or where are they going? What is your WH word? Are your auxiliary verb, you subject, and doing main verb in ing form. Where WH word, are auxiliary verb, they subject, and going your main verb in ing form. Now let's see why we use present continuous sentences and what is the meaning of present continuous sentences. We use present continuous to describe something which is happening at the moment of speaking. For example, I'm teaching English. Or these days she's reading a good book. As you can see in here, I'm teaching English. This is happening at the moment of speaking. It means right now. But look here. It says these days she's reading a good book. It means maybe she is not reading that book right now, but it is an action which is going on these days. For both these sentences, we can use present continuous. A few points about present continuous before we get to the exercises. Point number 1. If the verb ends in a vowel plus a consonant, we double consonant before ing. What does that mean? For example, if your verb is swim, swim has one vowel in the end and one consonant. It means if you want to add ing to swim, you need to double the consonant. S-W-I double M-I-N-G. Now, take a look at this one. Read plus ing. Do we double D? We don't. Yes, we have vowel and consonant in here, but see, we have two vowels. We need to have one vowel and one consonant. In here we have two vowels and one consonant. Next point. If the verb ends in a consonant plus E, we drop E before ing. Example. Write plus ing. Write has one consonant and one vowel, or one consonant plus e. When we add ing, we need to drop e. Writing. Look, okay? If a verb ends in a consonant plus ie, we drop ie and add a y. Example: tie plus ing and lie plus ing. Tie ends in a consonant plus ie. The same for lie. Lie, a consonant plus ie. So we drop ie and add y. So t y i n g. In here, l y i n g. Okay, let's take a look at this exercise. It says underline the correct phrase in each sentence. I suggest you pause the video for a few minutes, do the exercise, and I will start explaining them in a few seconds. Okay, what time do you go to bed on Saturdays? We use present simple here because we are talking about something which happens on a regular basis, or something that happens frequently on Saturdays. B, why are you waiting outside the door? Because this is happening at the moment of speaking, so we use present continuous. C, don't ask Tim, he doesn't know the answer. In here, we are just stating a fact, so we use present simple. D, I'm having lunch at the moment. Something is happening at the moment of speaking, so we use present continuous. E, when do you leave the house in the morning? It's a form of question for present simple, which is describing something which happens on a regular basis. F, I don't understand. What is happening? Something is happening at the moment of speaking, so we use present continuous. G, excuse me. Do you know is the correct answer, because your subject is you and your auxiliary verb should be do. Present simple. H, this is a great party. I'm having a lovely time. Again, this is happening at the moment of speaking, so we use present continuous. Next exercise. Again, you can pause the video and write the answers. I will start explaining them in a few seconds. Okay, read the answers and then complete the questions. A, where does Sue live? We are asking about a fact. We use present simple. B, Jim? No, I don't know him. Do you know Jim? Again, stating a fact with a non-action verb. No, we use present simple. C, at the moment, I'm doing my homework. What are you doing? Again, something describing something which is happening at the moment of speaking, we use present continuous. D, here? No, I'm sitting over there. Are you sitting here? Present continuous, describing something which is happening at the moment of speaking. E, here? No. We change trains at the next station. The question is, do we change trains here? Again, we are asking about a fact. F, I'm wearing 2 pullovers because I feel cold. The question is, why are you wearing 2 pullovers? Describing something which is happening at the moment of speaking, or we generally, when we are talking about clothes, we use present continuous. When we are describing someone is wearing, for example, 2 pullovers or a black shirt, we use present continuous. Okay, let's take a look at this exercise. Complete each sentence with a present simple or present continuous form, using the words in bold. Pause the video, write the answers, and I will start explaining them in a few seconds. Okay, let's begin. Do you like cheese sandwiches? We are stating a fact, or we are asking about a fact in here with a non-action verb, so we use present simple. B. What time does the sun rise? Asking a question about something which happens on a regular basis. In this example, the sun rising, which happens every day, so we use present simple. C. What are you reading at the moment? Describing or asking a question about something which is happening at the moment of speaking, so present continuous. D. Sorry, I can't talk. I'm having a bath. Something which is happening at the moment of speaking, present continuous. E. We don't watch videos at school because we are describing a fact here. We use present simple. F. Look out of the window. It's snowing. We are describing something which is going on or happening at the moment of speaking, present continuous. G. This is an examination. Why are you talking? Asking a question about something which is going on at the moment of speaking. H. Anne goes to school by bus every day. This is a very simple example of present simple, describing something which happens on a regular basis. I. Do you wear a uniform at your school? Stating a fact with present simple. J. Pat has got an interesting hobby. She builds boats. Stating a fact. Okay, let's take a look at this exercise. Choose the correct spelling from each pair of words. Write the answers, and I will show the answers in a few seconds. Okay, according to the rules we talked about spelling when adding ing to a verb, I think you can easily understand why these are the right answers. Thank you for watching another episode of English Grammar with Max. If you have any questions, ask me in the comment section. And if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.